Hello world, and we're back. And this is going to be episode 16 of my poker vlog. I'm Kyle Fischl. And the last 2 weeks that I only played Friday night both times. I normally don't only go one time a week. I normally go like 2, sometimes 3 times. But I've only gone one time the last 2 weeks. And each one of those sessions was a losing session, which is not what anyone wants or what they hope for, dream of. Had a few salty runouts, some stuff didn't break my way, and that's part of it. But the way we stay positive is we have never played a hand that was so bad that our hand felt it before eyes or mind or anything.
Gill moved all in with top 2 pair, waiting for David Paredes to decide what to do with just top pair.
But Daisy, that's all you need is queen. That's all you need is queen. What are you saying? You're saying we all need a queen, right?
Paredes calls.
Well, if you call you need a queen, put the 5 of clubs out there. 5 of clubs. I was right. It's like call you need a queen. Oh, and he hits it. And you felt good about it.
So you want to play poker for a living, huh?
Yep, when the hand feels it first.
Oh, and he hits it.
And we have never lost $1 million aces versus aces.
Harry Katz under the gun, lives in Las Vegas. Businessman here with pocket aces. He a raise to 225 from Katz. Seaver folds, big blind is Connor Drynan, also with aces. That looks like more than calling chips. There's a re-raise to 580,000. Katz re-raises to 2 million. That's a 4-bet.
On.
Call.
Bullets? Wow, you both have bullets. It's so sick.
There's the flop, 2 hearts.
If I lose like this, whatever. Yeah, no. Kings. Oh my God.
It's another heart. This is getting serious for Drynan. And now the river card. No!
I'm so sorry.
Drynan flushed out of this tournament.
$1 million buy-in wiped out in aces versus aces.
Wow.
That happened too. Compared to that, I'm doing good. But anyway, so the first session that I played on a Friday night, there was 3 pretty pivotal hands that happened. The first one, I have king queen offsuit, and after 2 limpers to me, I raised to 20, pretty standard. And 1 player calls and the 2 limpers call as well. So 4 ways to a flop. Flop comes queen jack 7, all diamonds, and I have the king of diamonds, so it's actually a pretty good flop for me. Okay, so it's check to me, pretty slam dunk board, pretty good for me. Yeah, I bet $30, and one of the pre-flop limpers calls. Now this guy is actually very, very tight. So I'm not too happy with his call there. I'd rather have one of the looser players call. But either way, ace of diamonds is nuts. So let's just hit it and get it over with. But no, the turn is another queen. And then he leads out for 50. So that's not really a good card for me. Because now, like, an ace of diamonds isn't the nuts. Like, ace queen with the ace queen would still have a full house. And any flopped set, because it was queen jack 7, could be beating me. And he let out into me. So, like, could he have, like, queen jack? Something super, very limp call, just, hit the world. But I don't really think he has that, because I think he would have to lead out on the flop because he have to protect his hand. So he could have flopped a flush, which, I'm still losing to. I mean, in a ace rag of diamonds, I'm pretty much losing less the board pairs. So the plan really is just to call and proceed cautiously. You know, you got trips, can't really fold here. And the turn is an offsuit 9, so doesn't really change a whole lot. And then he bets the exact same amount. He bets 50. And for all the reasons I said before, I'm losing to any flopped set that now is a full house. I'm losing to a flopped flush, which, you know, might check trying to trap and not really like the queen. And I'm losing to queen jack, which is also a very good, you know, limp call range. So I just call the 50, and he shows queen 9 for the old 3 outer on the river. A few hands later, maybe, I don't know, an hour or so, against the same player, it's limp to me again, 2 limpers, same as last time. I have ace 10 of clubs. Pretty standard, $20. And this time it goes 3 ways to the flop, which comes ace, king, queen of clubs. Again, I flop pretty good. 4-card royal. You know, the old jack of clubs comes and I win $1,000 for a high hand. Let's just get it this time and take it. But no. And he leads out again. He leads out for 50. And I have this player covered because, as you can tell in the last hand, based on how he plays, it's not very good in my opinion. But he leads out for 50. We've already seen him lead out with just top pair, no kicker, queen 9. So even if I no flush draw, I probably just call here. But because I have the royal flush draw, you know, jack is nuts, club is nuts, and he only has $200 left, I think that this is just a straightforward jam all day. However, him leading out for so big and kind of a coordinated board again, I really think that he has like maybe pocket queens, pocket kings, king queen, like something like that, where I'm not doing great against, but anything hits the turn and I'm just gonna call down. Maybe you could call here, and if another king hits and you put him on like a king queen, king jack type hand, you can get away from it. But I don't really see any way that you should not just jam here with a 4-card straight flush. Even against a set, you're doing pretty good. But, and he limped called. So, you know, you limp call and then you lead out. You only have about 200 total, 150 behind. Seems pretty strange. But anyway, I jam. He snap calls pretty quickly, which I'm like, did you limp call with aces? Or he has ace king. So he limped 5 with ace king and then just called with ace king. Pretty non-standard play there. And I do not get a good run out on 5 and a 4 of different suits. Not great. So for the last hand of that session that I played, I was at the must move. I got moved to the main game. And the guy to my left, my direct left, has 3-bet at a pretty high frequency. He's definitely 3-bet more than he's called. He never calls. He just 3-bets. You know, I've raised to 20 a few times with, you know, some Broadway cards, some pocket pairs, and been 3-bet to like 50 or 60 or 75, something like that, and then just been forced to fold because, you know, I was new to the table, didn't really know anything. But now I've seen him done it a few times, not just against me, against a bunch of people. So when I have ace king of clubs, I choose to raise to 20. He 3-bets to 60. And I only have about 500 total in my stack. That's before the 60, so that's total. I decide that now's a good time to just jam and punish the constant 3-betting. Because the goal is just get a fold, make $50, and you know, now he's going to be less likely to 3-bet me, and I can, because I have the jam threat. But he thinks for a while, like 2 minutes, and now I'm just feeling like really good. Like, you've got to have like ace jack or something real speculative, like pocket 5s or something just bad. And he eventually calls and he shows ace queen of diamonds. And I'm like, pretty good. Pretty happy with that. The flop is 10-6-4 with only one diamond. And I actually, like, I usually stand up on them all and I actually sit back down. I feel pretty good about it until jack of diamonds, 4 of diamonds.
Oh, come on!
Wow. The 4% for running cards. Yeah, that was not a good run out for me at all. The next day, or the next week when I went on a Friday night again because Friday night was good for me. The money's being thrown around pretty high, so I like Friday nights. I've only sat down at a table for probably 20-30 minutes, and I've seen a player 3-bet 3 times, 2 of which he showed because one time he 3-bet with 9s and then check folded when the board was like jack high, and the other time he had king queen and check folded with something else. And he did a third time where like everyone folded. So this guy's 3-betting a lot, and I'm not worried about this particular guy. He has a wide 3-betting range. But it's a straddled pot. It goes limp. I look down at pocket kings. Pretty good. I make it 50. And the player who I was talking about is in the small blind, so because it was a button straddle, he was the first limper. And he raises to like 135. And I have pocket kings, and we've seen his range, but I'd rather just see a flop and see what happens, especially when you're running bad, getting it all in pre-flop your last session, you kind of overcorrect and just kind of call and see what happens. Well, the flop's not great. The flop is ace 10-6. Always got to put an ace out there when you have kings. It's like a fact. But when he checks to me, like I've won plenty of hands where I just, raise with kings or call a 3-bet with kings and then bet the ace high board. Like that's been pretty profitable for me in the long run. So especially when he checks to me and like I've said, he's folded twice to 3-bet check folds. It seems like the appropriate time to just put 150 out there and see what happens. Well, after I put that bet out, he looked so disappointed, like so angry, and he doesn't know what to do. I was about ready to just fold outright. Like literally, 150. Oh, counting it out for like 30 seconds. I'm like, should I just fold now? Like, I guess I'm all in. Wow. No one saw that one coming with the, 50 seconds of, looked like someone was stabbing you. But I don't instant fold. I actually think about it for a bit. Like, because there's 2 hearts, I thought king queen was possible, but very unlikely. And I didn't think it was ace king. I really thought he just had aces, which is like I'm dead. I need 2 kings or jack queen. It's pretty dead. Like, you're not even drawing to 2 outs. You don't even have like a set of 10s or 6s. I think you have aces and I'm dead. So I fold, and he looks up at the high hand board and realizes there's no high hand up there. And then he gets really pissed off because any full house with aces full qualifies for $1,000. He's like, how did you not call me? Oh my God. Like, real. He goes on like that for like 45 minutes. He went on it so long that other people were saying like, I don't think he had aces. Like, I don't think he would go on this long if he actually had it. And I'm sitting there like, he 3-bet so many times and then just folded with weak hands, but he never under the gun limped 3-bet. He never full on Gibbonsed, and that's usually just aces. And can't really just fold kings to a raise, but that move is just pretty strong. Doesn't happen too often. But so I don't even get to see a showdown. I just light $300 on fire. irritating, but it happens. All right, so a final hand that kind of was the icing on the cake. I'm in early position, and it's folded to me. I have ace 10 of diamonds, and I raised to 20, standard raise size. I get 3 callers, so 4 ways to a flop, which comes 10-6-4. And when it's all offsuit like that, top pair, top kicker, I honestly don't want to bet it into 3 other people who, you know, they could have a lot of, especially in later positions, they could have a lot of suited connectors around the, you know, they could have 4-6 suited. They could have all kinds of stuff. And I like to check some top pair, top kickers sometimes, especially when I'm running bad. Like, kind of want to just control the pot, hoped it would check through and continue late on later streets, but that does not happen. So the third person to act bets 75, so nearly a full pot size bet. I'm not going to fold top pair, top kicker, and I call. When the turn is actually another 10, I'm very happy because everyone else folded, just me and him. And, you know, I beat all, you know, king 10s, queen 10s, all that kind of stuff. He could bet some like 8-9 suited. I just binked all the jacks through queens.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Probably can't have aces or kings. He'd raise. But who knows? Either way, I check again. And this time he bets 175. And I only have about 400 total. And when it's that big and I turn trips, I can't really fold here because he has about $4,000 in chips in front of him. And the way he threw his chips were so quick, and it looked just bluffy, big stack bully, especially because I was running some big hands and stuff, and it really seemed off. And besides the fact, I have ace 10, top trips. I beat all the other 10s in his range besides 10-6, which is very odd. And I beat jacks, queens. But either way, I can't fold. I shove all in when I turn trips. He doesn't call instantly, but he does call pretty fast, and he says he has a set. So that's irritating, but, you know, we got 8 outs, 3 aces, 2 10s, 2 4s. Showed pocket 6s. Can't hit. And, you know, pretty much the moral of the last 2 weeks were, you know, in this order, I get 3 outed, and then I miss a monster draw. Can't hold with a dominated ace-king over ace-queen for a big pot. Run kings into aces for a big cooler. And then make a big hand on the turn where it's the second best hand. So when all of those kind of things compile together, it actually makes for a losing poker session / 2-week run. And, you know, I wouldn't even call it a downswing because it's just kind of unlucky. I'd say there was some areas where I could have staunched the bleeding a little bit. And there were some areas that I don't think I could get away from, and I shouldn't for long-term success. If anyone has a comment about how I played a hand and a way it can be better, I would greatly appreciate it. I love reading comments. Hopefully we can turn around in this upcoming week. There will be more to come.